You're listening to Soccer Cards United. You're very welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 108 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world.
Hey.
Hi, Enzo.
Hey, Jason.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Eagle-eyed viewers on YouTube, the listeners will be completely oblivious to this, but eagle-eyed viewers on YouTube will notice that the camera looks different. Our primary camera, I'm having just some problems with one of our interfaces. Okay. So I had to switch to our backup cam.
It's not a great cam.
It's not a great cam, but it'll do. It's definitely you and it's definitely me.
Yeah, it's better than not doing a show.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
And there was times...
That'll be fixed by Monday, will it?
Yes, it will. But I'll push back some of my social activities, get that done. We just got back from Denmark, well, a few days ago. We got back on Monday, but there's obviously no podcast on Monday.
We tried to rally Tuesday. I don't know what happened. There
was too much stuff to do that we hadn't done because we were in Denmark.
Okay, we were busy, basically.
Yeah, we were busy. And people may not notice, but the Soccer Cards United empire does not just include the podcast.
And it does just include us.
It does just include us. So if there's anything else that has to be done, we have to do it.
Yeah.
So you were shipping out orders that came in on soccercardsunited.com.
We had Inception come in. We got it out.
Yeah. I had the vlog out for Copenhagen.
Yeah, that was fast. People were impressed.
So anyway, we're back now.
We're back. We're getting back to normality.
And we have a couple of reviews.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
So these couple more reviews from Apple Podcasts, just to start us off. I wonder, do people ever think that us reading reviews to start off the show is like slightly kind of...
self-indulgent?
You're self-indulgent.
I don't think so. Makes me happy.
Exactly.
That's the point, I guess.
All right. Entertaining show and great knowledge, 5 stars. You two, he's talking to us. Oh. You two make the show very fun to listen to. I appreciate the current info from the sport and hobby. Keep it up. From Nate in Minnesota.
Minnesota?
You've been to Minnesota.
I was there this year. He might have messaged me. He might have even given me a few tips, unless he's a newer...
new Nate.
Yeah.
He may not be the old Nate that you knew back in the day.
Listen.
But what I love
Minnesota,
about that...
a great city.
Minneapolis.
I feel like... great state. Minnesota's a state, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Minneapolis is a great... Yeah, I feel like a politician.
Yeah.
It's a great city,
It's a great city. We're delighted to be here.
It was brilliant.
The best fans in the world.
The best. But oh yeah, very, very nice place, Minneapolis.
But what I like about that review, right?
Yeah.
Is that he says, you two make the show very fun to listen to. And what I love about that is that it almost implies that we're the current hosts of the show. But that the show would be happening. Like, it just so happens that Soccer Cards United is hosted by these two guys.
If it wasn't us.
If it wasn't us, it would be somebody else who might not make the show as fun to listen to.
But the show will exist regardless.
Exactly.
I like that.
Which implies, what I love about it is that it kind of like means that we could potentially have successors.
We could get fired as well.
We could get fired.
Damn. Would you fire me, or would I fire you, or would someone somehow... Because that's what happened. Isn't that what happened with Apple?
Yes. They
Steve Jobs got fired.
The board fired Steve Jobs.
So you get so big, you get a board, and the board can decide your own fate.
That's right.
And then realise they made a mistake.
So we get a bunch of venture capitalists to come in and fund Soccer Cards United. And then they say it's just not working out. We've pumped too much money into this.
Yous have to leave.
Yous have to leave.
I'm like, but we did it.
Yeah. And they say, we don't care. Get out.
Get out of here.
And then
the reviews are coming in going, these two new guys
don't make it fun.
And then the venture capitalists don't understand because they're not in tune with the people.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be a good future for us.
So that was from Nate in Minnesota. Right, next review. Fantastic soccer card show! ! 5 stars. So glad I found this podcast. Great content every week and around the soccer card market and soccer in general, discussing all the Euro leagues and USMNT and not just the EPL. Keep it up, boys. That's from Polly Potts.
I'd love to know how he found the podcast.
Yeah, so glad I found this podcast.
But where did you find it? The back of a couch?
Yeah. Maybe somebody was listening to it and he said, "What's that?"
Yeah, what is that? Maybe he just Googled it and we just popped up.
He maybe Googled soccer card podcast.
We'd probably be...
I wonder. Let me just do that real quick.
You're going to do it? Oh, no.
Google.ie.
Not .ie, dude.
.com?
Yeah, you're not Irish. Well, you're Irish.
I am Irish.
No, but... Oh, my God.
Google.com. Soccer card podcast.
We probably should have went to the incognito mode.
Oh!
No, but surely that's based on your previous search results.
No.
Do you not think so?
Look. YouTube. Everything.
We're all over the first page.
We're all over the first page.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you think we need to...
redo the logo?
Yes. You still have the little anchor thing in the top right hand corner.
Anchor still produced the show.
Oh. Sorry, Anchor.
Very sorry. Unless you want them to kick us off. What about this? Go soccer card boxes for sale.
No.
No.
So you've just discovered a key. You're saying we put more effort into the podcast than the website. Jason.
People, we're not even. So if you search Soccer Card Podcast, we're all over it, and yet our website soccercardsunited.com is not on page 1 or page 2 of Google.
Is it on page 3?
It is on page 3 of Google.
Look at that. Yeah, but you got on them blogs, Jason.
I don't think it's the blog.
You don't think it's the blog? There's a few other bits to it.
But it's interesting. People are just look, and when we go on our website and look at the analytics, they're all direct. It's all people just typing in soccercardsunited.com.
Because we have a big
Because they know.
The lads.
But they're not searching. Maybe we should ask this, right? Next time you want to go to soccercardsunited.com, here's a direct appeal to the listeners.
Oh.
Please search something on Google that's like buy so and find us and click through on the link. Please don't go directly to the website anymore. It's 5 minutes out of your day.
Are you saying that would improve the analytics?
Yeah, it would improve our SEO. People say Google would start to see that when you search buy soccer card boxes online,
people are going to find in the website.
They're going to find the website. This must be the best result. Bump it up.
Don't
Bump
do
it
that,
up. Bump
people.
it up.
Don't do that.
Do it.
Don't.
Take 10-15 minutes out of your day.
I would never do that.
Take a half an hour out of your day.
Half an hour out of someone's day.
Well, sometimes we're way back there.
Oh my god.
Sometimes we're on page 20. No, don't do that. It's okay.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best here. Right. So thank you to Paulie and Nate.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
For those reviews. So nice. So nice, so good.
Jason was in the IG DMs and the Twitter DMs this weekend as well.
I was.
Getting in. When I say we're chock-a-block there.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Cause,
and anytime you respond to someone or deal with a query or just say thank you if it's a nice message, you're getting messages back. So that's the thing. If you respond to 20, you're getting 20 back fast.
Yeah. And a lot of people asking, what do you think this card is worth? And the problem is that
they asked it 2 months ago.
And then we said, please stop asking. And most of our listeners said, okay, we'll stop asking. Okay. But this is new people that just...
And they need to know, and it's like good to help them. We had that at the card show, which was interesting.
That's true.
We comped live at the card show.
Yeah. But I was thinking...
We need to find a better method to just get through the DMs. Because it is something that if you sit with... If you literally dedicate a few hours to it,
you can get through them, yeah.
And it does make a difference.
Yeah.
But it is difficult.
So if you send a DM and then you're like, why did they respond 2 months later? It's because there's a lot.
We're doing a lot.
We're trying our best here.
We're not even on the first page of SEO. That's how behind we are. What we need to do.
And yet, because of the fantastic listeners of the podcast,
we're doing all right.
Website goes from strength to strength. It's like a little secret.
People, we got some buzz on Twitter recently because we had a record timing of getting it from Dublin to the United States, less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
People were losing...
You can't even get FedEx to deliver within the United States that quickly.
Yeah, no, but we have it. We've built some relationships.
Yeah.
We've got some bits done. Shout out to the FedEx driver. Who comes around sometime. He let us down once ever.
Do you know his name?
No.
You gotta learn his name. You gotta get him a Christmas card.
No, I know. I'm gonna have to get him a few bits for Christmas. You're not wrong. But he let us down Friday when we were going to the show.
He let us down. So he's on.
But he apologised for that on the Monday.
Did he?
Yeah.
He said sorry about that. They haven't.
I never let you down. Sorry for letting you down.
Wow.
I said don't worry about it.
So sorry we didn't do a podcast on Monday. We were smoothing things over with our FedEx driver.
Sorry we let you down.
So now
we sometimes let you down. We can't say we never.
Yeah.
We sometimes let you down. Sorry.
Generally we let them down once every 6 weeks. That's what I've learned.
That's our average?
I'm pretty sure it's about once every 6 weeks, yeah.
Jason has it pinned in his calendar. Like, this show we're not doing. That's
I schedule...
You do 5 episodes, you get your holidays.
Exactly, yeah. It's like working on an oil rig. 2 weeks on, 1 week off or whatever. Okay, look, let's do Hobby HQ. We just got back from Copenhagen for the Nordic card show. Yes. We were in Denmark. There is a vlog up there, but it's like only 7 minutes. So how do you feel?
Thoroughly enjoyed our time in Denmark.
Had a great time.
I'd been there once before. It was your first time, Jason.
Yeah.
The show was great.
We
were the only non-Scandinavians, I think, there in terms of having a table.
I believe that's right, yeah.
So we represented.
We had a Finnish guy beside us.
Yeah.
We had a Swedish guy
to the
left. And then I'm pretty sure everyone else.
Yeah, we didn't talk to every table, but we didn't see any names we recognized. We didn't see any flags or we didn't see anything that would indicate
that anyone from any other country was there.
Yeah.
I think we probably traveled the furthest. I'm not sure how far away Finland is.
Yeah, I'd have to
do that.
It was a short flight.
It was a short flight. But yeah, it was the show was fantastic. It was half trading card game, half sports, or maybe slightly
More
tilted
skewed,
towards
the trading cards. They're building the sport still.
But it's very exciting to see. Like there's definitely a soccer community. We met some listeners.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 listeners. That was big.
That was big
in Denmark, and they were Danes.
yeah.
You know, they were either Danes or they were Swedish. They were Nordic people that are like, I listened to the show.
They were there.
I love that.
That was great.
We missed out on a Maradona autograph.
Missed out on a Maradona autograph.
I'm not even going to get into that story, but I'm very sad about it.
And
it was a wholesome reason to miss out on it, but I'm sad.
The collector who ended up with that went on Twitter, created like a Twitter profile, used that card as his Twitter profile, right? Tweeted it and said like, Grail achieved. And then followed us.
Ah, what a bastard.
And I had to follow him back through gritted teeth.
Don't follow him back.
I had to.
The story, we had a deal pretty much across the line for a Maradona auto from Mosaic. It looked incredible. And the guy eventually then just sold it for less than we offered him to a well-known Nordic collector. He wanted to help the local hobby.
Yeah.
That was his kind of reasoning, which was really nice, and it was great, but
It stings.
we flew the furthest distance.
That's right.
We're also contributing to the Nordic hobby, and it would have been great to walk away with a Diego Maradona autograph
Would have been fantastic.
in a Napoli kit, looking like a fucking gangster.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm sad.
But we did get a lovely 1982 Maradona.
We actually, we were not leaving that show without Maradona, so we got a 1982 PSA 3, I think it was.
Yeah, of the, I can't remember the name of it, but it's not the Panini, but it's a circular sticker.
Yeah, a circular disc thing. But it looked great. We got a good deal on that.
We should stick that up on Instagram.
Yeah, it's in my suitcase. I'll get it. We also got an Alan Shearer rookie PSA 9, which we discovered the pop is very low on those cards for some reason, and the prices as well. Mm-hmm. And I think we got Andrea Pirlo
rookie,
Pirlo rookie sticker. It wasn't a good grade, but it looks great, and I just wanted
that's
that.
going straight into the PC for you.
We threw it in the deal to get it across the line. I said, give me that.
Yeah. So that was fun, and the wax was selling well.
The wax was selling well.
So it was great. We had a really good time, and now we're like very hyped up for our two
Paris and Germany.
Paris and Germany, yeah. So that's very exciting. A lot of people ask us if we're going to London.
We didn't get a table.
We didn't get a table.
We wanted a table. We missed out.
And unless we get a table, we can't justify the cost of going. There are lots of people we'd like to see there and all that, but we just can't. It costs us money. We don't live in the UK, so we can't get, unless we have a table, we can't go.
Get onto the London Card Show and say, give the boys a table.
Yes, if you'd like to see us in London, reach out to them and
reach out to Harry and just say, give the lads a table.
Come on, give the lads a table.
Just one.
Come on.
Let
them. I know they're probably 5th or 6th on the waiting list.
But get them in.
Bump them up.
Get them across the line.
Yeah.
What do they have to do?
I was thinking, here's what we could do, and I don't want to give anyone any ideas.
Oh.
But I was thinking,
start paying for tables that people already have.
We put a bounty on a table.
Skip
the waiting list. We don't trust the waiting list system.
We don't trust it.
I don't want to wait for somebody.
No, because you need to get your flight sorted.
I got to organise my life.
Yeah. That's really close to Munich.
In 5 episodes' time, I have a week off.
I don't have plans.
It's really close to Paris.
Okay.
And Munich. Yeah, it would be.
It's in between them,
it's in between.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be a proper card roadshow.
Yeah. So.
What if we went without a table but had our own little setup table?
I don't think that would go over well. Harry might get the heavies after us.
I don't want that to happen. What if we shared half a table with someone?
Maybe.
But do you want to?
If you have, well, say to everyone, if you have a table for the London Card Show.
If you have 2, you know, some people get more than one.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
How much could that part of the table actually make you?
Yeah.
We will give you X amount of money.
I don't know.
That's when you know the card shows are going well, when people are flipping tables.
I'm
not.
Yeah.
Literally.
Somebody better flip a table or I'm going to flip a table.
Oh my God.
So,
could be fun to put out like a little bounty, wanted table at London Card Show, and then tag the London Card Show.
That's what I'm thinking.
Post it on.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I want to go to, we've enjoyed the last 2. See, the problem was the first show we went to, we booked 2 tables.
Yeah.
Then we said we actually only need 1 because of what we were able to carry over. Then he said they can't refund the table. So he said, but for the next show, you'll have that table.
Yeah.
So when show 2 came around, we never had to get a table because we had one. And when show 3 came around, we just forgot that you had to actually get a table. We just thought we had one.
We just thought we had one in perpetuity.
Soccer United, they have a table.
So it was like Soccer United Memorial table.
Yeah, you have to have a table for the lads, which would have made sense, might I say.
Yeah, but listen.
But like our top sponsor in it.
I don't know.
Could we have one of their tables?
I don't know.
Does anyone want to give us a table?
Yeah. Could somebody reach out to MGC? Are they going to be there?
Yeah, come on. They don't need a table. We have all these enemies.
Anyway, no, nobody listed there was our enemy. We're friends with everyone you just listed, apart from MGC. Tops were at the Nordic card show.
Yeah, they were great.
So
they
that was...
They had a table. They had a table.
They had a whole ring
Yes,
of
sir.
tables.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Give us one.
Give us one. Give us one corner.
Make the ring a little bit smaller.
Yeah. Actually, so we said we came the furthest, but we had seen a couple of the Tops guys at a London show.
Yeah, but we still came further. Ireland's a little bit further away. Do not.
I think we're probably closer
How?
because we're further north than London.
Okay. All right. Listen.
But then we're also further east.
That's what I'm saying.
We'd have to see a map. Right. So I have a couple of things here. What sold at Denmark and what didn't? There was some basketball cards that were there. Oh my god. Sorry about that, everyone.
Get yourself together.
We didn't sell a lot of Champions League Chrome.
No, we sold Flagship.
Flagship.
Flagship was good, cheaper. We sold a few blaster boxes of
Yeah.
Mosaic.
Chronicles.
Chronicles sold out.
Yeah. Sold out Chronicles.
Yeah, we had fat packs and we had one mini box and whatever.
Yeah.
Merlin was going.
Merlin was going.
Stadium Club.
And a lot of interest in the singles as well.
Yeah, the singles went. We had a lot of gaps in that table by
Yeah.
the time we were winding down.
There were some people looking to trade. There was some young kids there that had an energy that I hadn't seen since we've been at the National.
Yeah.
Like in England, there's not in the London shows. There hadn't been those little childhood gangsters walking around being check this out.
Boom, putting it off 15 Haaland on the table, being
Crazy.
what do you give me? And that was a fun thing. Everyone in Denmark had perfect English. The only people we struggled to communicate with were the young kids who hadn't gone to school to learn English yet.
Yeah.
So we had one guy kept coming up to us, and I was writing the price because numbers are universal.
Yeah.
Writing the price, showing him, and he was like, "I'll come back." And then dips off, and he was nodding his head, and it was just
He was
so
great.
fun. We did a deal with him in the end, but just not for the Haaland that we wanted.
Yeah. And then he did a trade with us, and then we saw him trying to sell what he just traded
Yes.
for cash. Yeah.
He got Mukoku off us, and he went to the table 2 tables down and was trying to sling it.
Yeah.
And this kid was, what age was he?
7 or 8.
7 or 8. I love to see it.
Maybe he was older, but he seemed
No,
like
he
he
wasn't.
couldn't have been
He
older than that.
Could have been younger than that. 5.
We couldn't have been that young.
could have been, yeah,
You would have
listen.
had to be a genius.
Listen.
So yeah, I mean, I was talking to a few of the lads up there, and they were saying that the problem for them is that they just have each other to sell to.
Yeah, classic
So
problem.
that's a classic problem. But over time, hopefully their market will start to expand, and they'll have more people to sell to. And another thing, in Denmark they use the Danish kroner, and they all use mobile pay as their thing. So not a lot of people had cash on them. So I just want to say to all the card show organizers out there,
Yeah.
please make sure that you have a solution for that or an ATM at the venue.
Yeah.
Because it would have been good if you could just run and get some cash.
Yeah, we had a Finnish guy beside us who just had no way of accepting payments. He kept making deals, then they didn't have cash and they couldn't do
They
the deal,
just fell apart.
which is very sad.
And obviously PayPal isn't any good because the currency conversions are crazy.
Crazy.
But we're hoping that in the shows, next 2 shows they're in the Eurozone. It might be a bit easier.
Euro currency.
But of course, we accepted Danish krona in both cash and card because that's how we do it.
We are international.
International men of mystery.
We got a load of that in my house, like the physical dollars.
Yeah.
And in one of our bank accounts, we have a load of krona that just hit today.
One of our bank accounts makes it sound like the dodgiest fuckers ever.
Because we have multiple currency accounts.
Currency accounts, yeah.
Sounds dodgier now.
So, next
Well,
item.
that was fun.
That
Just
was
to go
fun.
to Copenhagen for
It was
a card
so
show.
fun.
That would have never happened
Yeah.
2 years ago, 1 year.
No, it was brilliant.
That's a great sign for the European
And it's
hobby.
growing.
It's growing, yeah. It's getting
growing,
bigger each
yeah.
time. So, and they were really happy. The organizers of the show were really happy that we made the trip.
Yeah.
Meant a lot to them, and they let us know that. That was nice.
So if you would like to make a trip to a wonderful city to go to a good card show and get congratulated for it, even though you're the one benefiting, go to the Copenhagen Card Show.
Listen,
Make a big deal that you're not from there.
let them know.
People shake your hand, pat you on the back, tussle your hair.
Jason looked like he blended in with the Danes. Let me
That's
tell you.
right. Such tall people.
Tall people, blonde people.
They just looked at me, just unremarkable.
Yeah, unremarkable.
Unremarkable, which was great.
You felt at home.
I felt like I could disappear in this crowd. We
You
also
disappeared at
went,
one point. I lost you when you went vlogging. I was looking on where is he, and for the first time ever, I couldn't just see a
Yeah.
man sticking above everyone else.
yeah. That's funny. We have to say we went to Denmark versus France.
Oh yeah.
So on a Sunday night, we
if we wanted to make an enemy, Viagogo was one of them.
got last minute tickets to see
Denmark, France.
France.
Front row seats.
Front row seats, sitting row 1, side of the pitch.
Yeah. Well, you were in row 2 because an angry Dane
I was in row
just
2,
told you
yeah.
to sit in a different seat.
He just said, you may sit up there. And I said, okay.
You're like, all right, I won't complain. I wanted to sit beside you, but he was just like, he insisted.
And he was like, had his like full man spread going on and everything. Yeah.
Shocking.
So we saw like France had all the big guns out: Griezmann, Mbappe, Camavinga, Tchouameni, Giroud. They were all there.
Giroud is such a beautiful specimen.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
And
front row for Giroud was too much for me. Jesus.
And then Denmark were there. They had a very solid team as well. And Denmark won 2-0.
They smashed them.
They absolutely smashed France. It was brilliant.
It was beautiful to watch.
It was
Christian
amazing.
Eriksen masterclass.
Oh, Christian Eriksen masterclass. Like Kasper Schmeichel got man of the match, but it was Christian Eriksen really.
Eriksen was man of the match. Like, I don't know what. Like Kasper made a few saves, but they weren't.
Yeah.
Not like, you know.
I don't know.
Mbappe looked good in little spells, but for the most part, he was completely silenced.
He was just trying to do it all himself, and it just wasn't working.
We were talking about how in the World Cup in 2018, he was a right winger and essentially a utility player.
Yeah.
Whereas now he wouldn't sacrifice himself to be like a really creative right winger. He needs to be the goal scorer on the left cutting in, but that's not fluid.
Yeah, and he wants to receive the ball in that corner of the pitch. Yeah. He doesn't want to take it
and bring it.
So
yeah, France have a lot to do if they want to make big waves in the World Cup.
Yeah, Camavinga and Tchouameni we saw, of course, two
double pivot.
hobby darlings. Camavinga struggled more than Tchouameni did.
Tchouameni just was such a natural.
Tchouameni was brilliant.
Like,
he was up against Thomas Delaney and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, so it was a very physical midfield, which Camavinga struggled a bit more than Tchouameni did.
Yeah, but both very talented.
Yeah, Denmark looked class.
Yeah, France did have a large injury list, even though they had a lot of the stars out. They would have benefited from Theo Hernandez,
Lucas Hernandez.
Yeah, Pavard wasn't up to much, but
Ousmane Dembele wasn't there. He would have helped.
Benzema as well.
Yeah, like Pogba, Kante, Rabiot. These are all
starters
to
a degree
in a Deschamps side.
But yeah, their defense was shocking. Remember?
Yeah, shocking. It was Upamecano,
Saliba maybe.
Saliba, and Badashil, and the three of them
were a mess.
I think only have maybe four or five caps between them.
Yeah.
So they just had no experience. They had no idea what to do.
Denmark are just chill as it gets. They don't panic. They dominated.
Yeah. Mikkel Damsgaard looked so good. Andreas Skov Olsen looked great.
They brought on the little young fella, remember?
Oh, they brought on Rasmus I can't think of how to say his second name. Højbjerg, maybe? Rasmus Højbjerg? That can't be right. No. But it's Rasmus something who plays for Atalanta.
Yeah.
And he was good when he came on. The atmosphere was great. They were super friendly. We loved it.
Yeah, we got some Olays going and all. That's how
oh my God,
yeah. The embarrassment of France.
It was maybe 12 passes before France got the ball back. It's unbelievable. And then I think it was Tchouameni that went and got it back.
It was great to be there for the show and then just have that's the biggest benefit of an international break.
Yeah,
is that we got to just that was for us. We got to go to a card show. We got to enjoy the city, and then we got to sign it all off with a huge game against the world champions.
Yeah,
which the home team won, and we were in that.
Exactly.
We were part of it. It was great.
So that was brilliant. I would thoroughly recommend visiting Copenhagen during an international break to anybody.
There you go.
Also on Sunday, we saw the early hours of Sunday morning, our Moukoko 1-of-1 autograph ended at Goldin auctions.
Yes.
With buyer's premium, the final price was 5,100. Enzo, your reaction?
Yeah. We pumped it.
Yeah.
People loved it. People loved the hustle we put into it. We were just having fun. When your listing doesn't have a description, you need to pump it.
Yep.
That's how we felt. Fell short of the other, there was 2 1-of-1 Moukokus previously on Goldin that were higher than it in 6,000 with the buyer's premium, so we fell short of that. Probably just the time of posting it, if you will. I think it was just kind of this specific month. Probably wasn't the best month to do it, but overall, good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not angry with that at all. Again, we have 2 Moukokus, now we only have 1, but we had 2 and we were kind of in them both financially for the price that we saw that one for. So that was a good move from our point of view in terms of limited our risk, and now we just have a PSA 10 Moukoko auto that we can hold for however long we want.
And watch him in 5 years when he's 22 or whatever.
And if he breaks his knee and whatever, we're not financially down. So again, it's about being responsible in the hobby as well when you're doing kind of more riskier investments with the young players. Again, I would have liked just a little bit more, but at the same time, had it gone for less, I would have been really sad. So it was a good price.
Yeah, the main thing for me was that
I'm really interested to know who ends up with it.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling like the hobby's small enough that I think someone's going to say, my mate has that.
If you know who bought that, let us know.
Just let us know.
The
Within data protection, but if he doesn't want to know.
Yeah,
Don't
consent
like,
and then get consent and then let us know. The Goldin auction generally was down.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cards that were big cards that were underperforming, or what we're getting what kind of would have been seen as a steal. So maybe they're normalizing, maybe they're underperforming. We don't know.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. Kylian Mbappe had a number of different autographs in that, and as you can imagine, when 3
on-card
autos go to auction together,
it's going to dilute it.
It's going to dilute it. But I was asking people on Twitter about Kylian Mbappe, and they had some interesting thoughts. So I'll just try and find that now, and then we'll talk about it.
We had some great chats in the late hours.
That's right.
About what was going on with the Mbappes.
Yeah. And then I just... We have our theories, and I thought, let's see what everyone else's theory is. So I'll just go through some of them quickly. If he bangs in a couple of goals and or France wins the World Cup, then the price will return to the normal insanity that is the Mbappe card market. If anything, now is the time to scoop up some of these underperforming autos.
No, I agree with that.
See the whole card says. Doug Jones has a kind of opposite view. He says, you're assured an Mbappe auto with every box. It's a PSG only set. No rookie. It's not a rookie. There's only so far first on-card auto can act as a lifeboat to those crippling features.
You're saying being PSG only is a crippling feature?
He says people on Mbappe in the France kit know much as PSG.
That's fair. Well, he's been at PSG long enough to kind of build a bit of a legacy, but
that's true.
I get it.
Ben says the Panini deal killed it. He can do premium on-card forever. Potentially. James Darcy was very pessimistic. The autos look terrible and a ton of supply relative to demand. Smart money knows these are going to go down before they go up. So it'll take time, basically. Sancho soccer cards playing in France, he'll always be relevant, but he needs some big World Cup performances to become the darling again. And to which I replied, the hobby has a short memory and an overactive imagination.
Oh.
By which I mean, he saw a big World Cup performance. This is not a go at Sancho soccer cards, by the way. It's a general thought. Like, he needs a big World Cup performance. But realistically, a lot of these players people are buying, do you think they're ever going to do what Mbappe did at the 2018 World Cup? No. So it's like, people are always looking for a reason to undervalue what's already out there and overvalue what could happen. You know, it's like the past doesn't matter, but the future has crazy value.
Under or overvalued right now?
The Mbappe autos? I don't know.
I think it's a classic case of there was none and now there's a load.
Not
a load, 270 max in terms of the guaranteed PSG Chrome first auto. And I just you can't basic supply and demand tells me you can't if it was one in every 2 boxes there was an Mbappe auto.
Yeah.
Half of the boxes that have been opened wouldn't have been opened.
That's right.
Because when you know he's in there,
you
get a bit more confident. If it's a 50-50, only a certain type of people are opening the boxes at all. People that can afford to open it and not have an Mbappe auto.
Yeah.
You know? And just because of that, there's a big supply. I think if you're sitting there with the cash wanting an Mbappe auto, 4 or 5 fish are about to pop up, you can just
sweep one up.
Grab what you
want. One went for $3,000 last night.
The biggest was at eBay.
Yeah.
Do you think the person will ship it or will cancel it?
I'd say they ship it.
Hopefully.
Because I think they're probably
happy enough.
They need
get
the
out.
money.
A lot of people probably got the box for 10k, say.
Yeah.
And then just couldn't sell the box, couldn't flip it, didn't have a customer base to flip to or whatever. And then because Mbappe's guaranteed, they said, let's open it.
Yeah.
And let's just sell the contents of it.
That's right.
They're just trying to recoup because they were overextended. I think that's the kind of thing that happened with this box.
Yeah, I mean, Soccer Cards HQ, terrible QC mixed with Panini raining on the parade with the announcement. I'll likely buy a graded one of these eventually, but not before I see the Eminence.
The interesting thing about the graded, like a PSA 10 went for fairly low at the Goldin auction, but that could have been the biggest steal at it.
That's right, because the pops aren't going to be high.
The pop of a PSA 10 could be so low that could be a huge steal. But that's it, we just don't know. Now it's kind of a risky gambling game because no one knows. Like, we're going to have, hindsight is going to be amazing for this period of the Mbappe market.
And then just kind of to counter that, I asked, just trying to get context on all this, right? And so I went over to Instagram so that I would have a different pool of people to ask. And asked them to finish the following sentence. If I can find it. Okay, finish this sentence. Kylian Mbappe is as good a player as. Because I wanted to kind of think, right, okay, we've had this conversation about undervalued, overvalued, but like in the hobby's mind, how good is Mbappe? Because I know how good I think he is.
Yeah.
And
he's definitely being undervalued in terms of a player.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So, okay, so
that's partially because he's in France.
I know. Somebody says Thierry Henry, as good as Thierry Henry. Okay, yeah. Similar. You won at Monaco, won a World Cup when they were young.
Yeah, fairly similar trajectory.
Fairly similar trajectory, yeah. Adama Traore versus Manchester City, that's funny. Kylian Mbappe is as good a player as you guys are at podcasting.
So he's amazing.
Oh, thanks, Brian. He's as good a player as he is a prima donna. Second Thierry Henry. Someone says any Inception left. Kylian Mbappe is as good a player as Vinny Jr. He's better than Vinny Jr.
But like, I think the all-time record for an Mbappe card, at least on Goldin, I don't know if that's the all-time, was €78,000 or dollars.
Yeah,
$78,000. So like, that's not crazy. If you're talking about the Mbappe market, like this is like a reflection on the soccer.
That's the ceiling. Yeah,
the soccer market. Like if the highest, I think it's an of 10 select field view maybe.
Yeah.
From 2017-18, but it's like I bring it back to the American sports. I think 6-figure cards are very normal there,
and 6-figure cards are completely unheard of in soccer.
Yeah,
and
that's more of a reflection on the sport versus the players and how good they are or are not.
Yeah. He's as good a player as Harry Kane. No, he's better than Harry Kane. He's better than Harry Kane. I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, you think? I think the World Cup could damage him a bit because I think everyone just expects like he needs to repeat exactly what he did 4 years ago, and that's unheard of.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
It's he's already done that. Like that's part of his legacy. It's locked in.
Nobody's retained the World Cup since Brazil in like 1962 or something.
Okay, yeah, Italy did it once.
Before pre that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact. But that's what I'm saying. Like, based on watching them against Denmark, they're not going into the World Cup in flying form or with a settled 11 or whatever. But like, at the same time, no one really seems to be, apart from like Portugal, Argentina are kind of the only ones, and Brazil. But apart from that, everyone's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And
even Portugal lost to Spain the other night.
Yeah.
So it's really just Brazil and Argentina.
That's true.
I think you've got lesser, Denmark, Croatia in good form.
Belgium can probably, but
the Netherlands are in good form. They haven't. Do you know Louis van Gaal has been in charge of the Dutch team 2 or 3 times. He hasn't lost a competitive match, apart from penalties, since 2001 with the Netherlands. He's like 30 or 40 games unbeaten.
They love him over there. He's just an icon. I don't know. I think this is a set long term when you look back on it. I think because there's this kind of open. There's this open field of like Panini are about to just create a bajillion Mbappe autos in perpetuity.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But we also don't know. It might.
Yeah, it seems like
Panini could have got fuck all autos and just thrown them in and they get to say they have an official license deal with Mbappe.
Yeah.
And there's not necessarily anything.
That's true. So we don't know. And I think
hindsight is everything.
Based on those 2 pieces of information, those 2 kind of like crowdsourced pieces of information, no, there's no consensus on whether or not these are undervalued or overvalued, and there's no consensus on whether Kylian Mbappe
is good or bad.
And that's been a wake up call for me to kind of go like, oh, okay. I'm kind of going like, oh, yes, that's what you think. Okay, fine.
That's what the market's thinking.
Like, yeah, I don't want to be too controversial, but like,
do it.
It's pretty obvious that he's a better player than everyone seems to think he is.
He's completely undervalued as a player. You're
like almost to the point where I'm like
uncomfortable.
I'm like, okay, I know it's like, haha, nobody watches France, like nobody watches PSG. Like I know that's like a joke, but really nobody. Like that's what I'm kind of going like. Oh, so just no. I thought that was like, haha, you don't watch it, like, but sometimes you see it, like But what I'm hearing is like, no, you don't ever see it. I've never seen PSG play. It's what I hear with a lot of these people.
Unless it's Champions League.
And everyone can have an off night in the Champions League. Yeah. And even then, he doesn't really have that many off nights in the Champions League.
No, he does very well. I think if you're literally being used as a focal point and Messi and Neymar being the second fiddles, you're probably a good player.
Yeah.
Probably a very good player.
Yeah. It's very strange.
I'm just concerned because I just don't think he fits in the current French team in the right way because of where he wants to play.
Yeah.
That concerns me.
That's concerning. But then, like
he was a right wing in the 2018 World Cup. Giroud was the focal point striker who didn't even score a single goal in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
But it all linked together and made sense.
Yeah.
Matuidi was the left wing, damn near.
But then, yeah.
But they sacrificed the left wing with Matuidi, who really just dropped into midfield and protected the back as a left winger because the right was so powerful.
But like, for instance, right, let's say the other night, Slovenia beat Norway, right?
Haaland in the bin.
Right? If Haaland was at a World Cup and scored no goals, the hobby would be falling over themselves to apologise for him. Well, you see, it's this, it's that, it's the other.
I think they'd be in turmoil. I think they'd be going, oh no, he's terrible.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think they'd be saying, well, you see, the thing about Norway is this and that, and he has no service, and it's different, and he's under pressure, and all this stuff. But Mbappe apparently has no... What I couldn't believe when I read these comments, that Mbappe apparently has no credit in the bank.
Ooh. People are like... But they said, we'll see what he does in this World Cup, and that'll decide. It's like,
yeah. What do you want him to do?
Like, I was looking at the highlights. I got a bit nostalgic, and I was like, can I just see what he did in 2018?
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus.
No, I know.
Oh, my God.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, my God.
It makes me question a lot of stuff.
Scored in the final, Jesus.
Yeah.
Slapped 2 against Argentina.
Scoring in the final, like...
That doesn't happen.
I don't know. Like, it just makes me wonder a lot.
No, but I just think that's it. I think that's the realm we're in. I think, to be honest, what opened my eyes the most was seeing the highest ever Mbappe sale being the 78,000.
Yeah.
If there was one on eBay, if there was one on PWCC, let me know. Tell me what it was. But that's the highest one I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and I know the 101 is in the 101 of the new era and the 101 of the Prism 2018 are in the possession of a high-end collector. He hasn't sold them.
Yeah.
They could have obviously sold for whatever.
Obviously.
And actually, there was a 3 of 5 maybe that sold for more. Remember the one that was in the binder?
Oh, yeah.
That was a non-PWCC... I think that was a non-Goldin auction. That was like a private sale. I think that could have been 100 or 300,000, something like that.
Right. I know there's been offers on that gold one. Yeah, that was okay. That's had a couple of.
There's 2 gold because the one was in the binder for 3 years. So so there's probably been some 6-figure sales, but in general, it's like it makes you look at the Messi and Ronaldo rookies and go, oh, they're undervalued. Yeah, they're very undervalued because soccer's not valued yet. And like when we went to the national, everything, all the boxes I tick, like it's so obvious. It's like, oh. Soccer's this tiny little
fragment,
corner, if even, of what the national is.
Mm-hmm.
And that just has to make you go, oh,
I see why we're so far behind.
When we say we're early, as we said, I think last episode, we're a lot earlier than we thought we were.
That's right.
And that's why I think people think, here's the thing, people think 2026 World Cup is going to be this moment where everything's at its peak, and that's when you're cashing out, not cashing out, but like you're selling. But like 2026 is just going to be a watershed that's then going to knock into...
That's when we start.
That's when we start, exactly. 2026 happens. A few years later, the Messi Ronaldo rookies are going crazy because now we've arrived.
Yeah. 2026 will kickstart soccer.
Yeah, it's not the peak of soccer.
I understand.
It'll be a mini peak. It'll be people that are here.
Yeah,
it'll be big, but it's that the legacy of that World Cup will have the knock-on effect that then you'll look back and has Mbappe's career been an all-time GOAT career? If it has, his cards are going to be lit. Messi, Ronaldo, cards are going to be lit. You know.
Yeah. No, that's right.
But that's it. It's changed my view a lot. Everything we've seen this year by traveling. Like when you go to Denmark, you're seeing, oh, we are about to get legitimate. Like I've never seen people want Peter and Kasper Schmeichel things more in my life. So I'm like, oh, when you go into a market like that and you awaken them, the high end cards of their heroes, their legends are crazy. Like the Irish cards you got, the black and gold. Yeah. Give it a few years, people are going to be like,
can I get them?
Looking for them.
Yeah.
Can I have that? I want that. That Wes Houlihan, I need it. And like. Crazy.
The interesting thing in Denmark was there was the 2 Schmeichels and then the 2 Ledrups.
Yeah.
And we were talking to somebody and he was saying, oh, the really cool thing would be if there was a dual autograph of Brian and Michael Laudrup. And we were like, there is.
Yeah, there has to be. We've seen it.
And we searched, it's in one of the Merlins, Merlin 95 and 97. And it's on eBay for like whatever price. I think it's like 500 quid or something. Yeah. Right? But like based on everything we saw in Denmark, the fact that hasn't been snapped up from someone in Denmark yet shows you how early you are. Because that should be sitting on a Danish collector's mantelpiece.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why
it's not that expensive.
No, yeah. And they didn't even know it existed. People that were looking for it, waiting for it to happen, didn't even know it was there.
So
we're
early.
But it's interesting. I don't know what to be thinking of the PSG Chrome because it's been completely undervalued that there's a Neymar and a Messi on-card auto in there as well. Like the Neymars aren't going for a lot of money, the Messis aren't going crazy either, but like they're on card, but obviously they're like PSG is not Barcelona or Argentina. But I just think it's a case, like, it's the classic supply demand.
Yeah.
And I think the supply is way bigger than it should have been, and that's because the 3 of them were guaranteed. So more people open the boxes.
That's right.
And so there's more on the market. So it's a good buying time for them, for the singles, for sure.
Yeah. But it's just interesting. It just made me...
And like, if you're a big money person, I would try snap up a PSA 10 Mbappe auto if they show up, because I think those...
And the pop is never going to be huge on those.
There's 200...
Mbappe, you can never imagine Kylian Mbappe in his... All of the complaints about Mbappe at the moment are that he's difficult, he's a prima donna, you can't get him to do anything he doesn't want to do. And yet the hobbyists imagine him sitting there signing reams and reams of autographs.
On card. For years.
So he won't do a KFC ad, but he sit there all day signing autographs.
Like, he could have got... Like, think about how much of a premium Panini can get by having 10 on-card autos in Eminence.
Yeah.
Huge. Enough to pay him whatever. And that number, he's thinking I signed 10 cards and I get that.
Yeah.
I'm in.
So we don't know, but it's messing with my head, this whole thing.
No, it's interesting. It's a huge part of the soccer hobby.
Yeah.
But I think there's so many factors at play, and it is interesting. Like, that PSA 10 went really cheap.
Yeah.
On Goldin. Like, that shocked me. Like, I would have wanted to buy that. Like, I think it was off 30 as well. Like, it's
no joke.
It ain't no joke. But I think everything is hindsight. This is the classic.
Yeah.
In a few years, you'll look back and go, oh no, or you'll say, oh.
Yeah. Like, I thought it was Rashford 1-on-1 sales from Prism from a couple of years ago, or from last year or something, that were like 20 grand. And they would be much less than that now.
Yeah. But like, Rashford's not Mbappe.
No, exactly. But I mean,
you know, hindsight.
That's why I forgot the point. Hindsight was the point. It's easy to say that's too much for Rashford after he's had 3 years of doing nothing.
Yeah, being injured.
Okay.
Oh no.
I just want to briefly touch on this.
So wait, can I just say, we went from the highest end of the soccer card hobby.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to what I'm going to call the lowest end.
Okay.
That's my shot. That's why I won't.
Is that and that's you've...
I might not be.
Okay. So I saw this on Twitter the other day. A note from Brian Gray, who is the CEO of Leaf Cards. And he sent an email out to some people, some buyers of Leaf Metal Soccer Hobby, right? Which is a Leaf product, whatever. And I'll read you the note now in full. Greetings all. We have been closely monitoring the activity in the marketplace on 2022 Leaf Metal Soccer Hobby. It is currently being sold by very weak hands below factory cost. I can't believe that's in a professional email.
Paper hands.
We believe most of these weak hands have exited their inventory and we'll be rewarding those who held. Don't know why he's talking about like their crypto tokens, but that's a separate thing. With this being said, we know this product will be good as the young players become the megastars. We know they will. However, we must concede that much like NIL, the consumer doesn't. NIL is the thing where college athletes in the US can make cards now and sell their image. The consumer doesn't understand the monster value or is too lazy to do the homework. As a side note, these boxes cost us...
Wait, too lazy to do the homework?
Yeah. As a side note, these boxes cost us over $300 each to make. There is absolutely zero reason these should trade where they do. Today, we announce redemption program for this product. Buyers and dealers who open boxes and send us the box bottoms for this redemption will receive a very limited sealed box with which features 2 1-of-1 Leaf Metal Soccer slab proofs per box, one signed and one unsigned. These boxes are $100 plus SRP. Please see the instructions above for this program. Please send to everyone so you know we can. Please send to everyone you know so we can get this out to everyone. Thank you for your support. Brian Gray, CEO, Leaf Trading Cards, Plano, Texas. Right. So, this is crazy.
You know, Leaf has been up to some... We actually have been too busy to even... You know, the wrong images on Leaf and stuff. We haven't even... Like, we've seen it on Twitter. We haven't even got into it.
Yeah.
Because we've just been busy.
Yeah.
Or it's just over there.
It's just not even worth talking about. So, Leaf have consistently, on the Continuum cards, been putting images of the wrong player on them.
Yeah. Like, it's meant to be a young rookie and it's Alisson.
It's not even rookies. These are like kids, academy kids.
No, academy kids, and it's Alisson Becker for Liverpool.
Yeah. It's like a Liverpool academy goalkeeper, and it turns out your man is like in the back of the shot, and it's actually a picture of Alisson, and they just print that. And it just kept getting smacked down by everyone on Twitter. And so I guess in the Leaf Metal Soccer Hobby release, people have been saying, I've been just selling below inventory, and calling the consumers lazy, saying they won't understand the monster value, right? And the monster value seems to be, I've looked at the checklist, and we just had a conversation. We just spent 20 minutes having a conversation about how Kylian Mbappe is undervalued in the hobby. Kylian Mbappe. And this guy's complaining that 16-year-olds in the Everton Academy who are on loan probably next season at Grimsby or something are undervalued. Does he, like,
Is he
what's happened here? This guy's going crazy.
Let's get mad.
Getting mad that people in the soccer hobby don't value these kids. How many players have we seen that are the best academy product their club has ever produced who go on to do nothing?
A lot.
Who do their ACL when they're 18, or who do this, or who do that, or
get a bit of money too fast.
Get a bit of money too fast. Or how many fellas, you could go through all the lists of all of the Chelsea teams that have won the UEFA Youth League. You could go through all the lists of all the Arsenal teams that have won the FA Cup, the Junior FA Cup, whatever that's called. And you could pick those players out, and you've heard of maybe 5% of them. Being the best player on under-19s team,
and the 5% that you know didn't necessarily go on and do anything.
And you've heard of maybe 5%. You have seen play 1%, maybe. You know?
Yeah, no, I get you.
But we're being told that
we're lazy.
We're lazy,
Jason. Me and you.
Because he knows these kids have become mega stars.
Oh, he knows for sure.
How does he know that?
He doesn't. I don't think he does.
He doesn't
become the mega stars. We know they will. That's not
really weird.
Really bizarre.
So I saw this on the Collectible Guru Twitter, and they blocked him. So it's just not good. It's just not good. I don't get it. I don't like it.
Shocking.
It's childish. It strikes me as a company that had a strategy. Here's what we're going to do. We have unlicensed stuff. So this is a fine strategy. We don't have licenses. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and find a lot of players. We can give them XRC pre-rookie cards, and they haven't appeared in licensed products anyway. They're way off it. You know, like Endrick. They had Endrick in the Continuum for Brazil. Those autos are doing quite well. But he's in the Palmeiras youth team. He's not going to have a sticker for ages. He won't have a card for even longer. So we'll go after him. We'll sign him up. We'll have him 5 years before everyone else has him. Great.
Yeah, smart.
But it hasn't worked. Because soccer hobby is not that deep.
Yeah.
That's it.
If they're questioning Mbappe.
Exactly.
They're not risking.
If we're having a conversation about, is Mbappe as good as Harry Kane or is he as good as Pele? Then we're not ready for this. This is advanced level. We're only at beginners.
Maybe that's why he knows they will have monster value in 55 years.
And there was stuff about they paid soccer experts to tell them who's good, who's not good. Really weird stuff.
But that email, regardless of anything that happened or didn't happen, that email's nuts.
It's so unprofessional. Brian Gregg followed up and said, with all respect, anyone that knows anything about soccer, I like to think I know something about soccer.
I think we're in that bucket.
Can look at the checklist and see that this is the greatest soccer checklist of all time. I'm not scared to call a spade a spade. We are giving away $300,000 to support our customers who still have product. We'll miss you. And then he blocks them.
Jesus.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
That's nuts.
It's nuts. So sorry, what I was going to say was, that's a fine strategy, but it didn't work. And now what it appears to be is, in desperation...
Oh, these one-on-ones. That's the saddest thing I've seen.
Yeah. They're lashing out. They're hitting the emergency brake. They're trying to bail themselves out of a sinking ship, and they're frustrated.
I don't care.
And in their desperation, they've made statements that they know aren't true. Yeah. He's convinced himself. Maybe he's not even lying.
The greatest soccer checklist of all time.
Yeah.
Have you seen 2018 Panini Eminence?
Yeah. Have you seen 2020, 2021 Topps Chrome?
Yeah,
the Jude class?
Have you seen that?
But that's... Okay, talk about superstars, right? You want to talk about kids that are going to be superstars?
Jude Bellingham.
Look at the 2020, 2021, the Jude class year. All that wax.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham,
Camavinga,
Pedri,
Musiala,
Gravenberch, Adeyemi, Mokoku. We can go on, right? They're all in there. Anthony, yeah.
The list literally goes on.
It literally does go on. You can keep naming them, and then every few often every someone, CDK, Noah Lang, they're all there, right?
And more.
And more. And even all those kids won't go on to be superstars.
Yeah.
So, what is this drivel?
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Just because you made a shitty product didn't work, and now you're starting to have a go at the soccer community, who, by the way, didn't ask for you to make these products. There's no demand.
With all due respect, anyone who knows anything about
It's very
soccer,
fucking disrespectful, actually, in fact.
yeah,
That's why it's annoyed me.
yeah. It's not great.
You're printing...
To me,
you don't even look what they look like, the players.
Yeah, you don't even know who they are. And they're not licensed. Guess what? Guess what's important in collectibles? Licensing.
Licensing. And we're not even talking about... Like, the licensing... I can forgive the no license.
I get it.
I get it.
Break in the way you want to break in, but...
But don't be angry when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's it.
Honestly, to me, that devalues older Leaf products as well.
It just makes you just...
Yeah, because they have the old stuff where it's like they'll have like a Pele, it's all patches. They have a Pele, a Beckham, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Messi, and it's like a weird looking card. But people always, whenever they start, they come to us and say, "Hey, what's this? What's that?" Da, da, da. And like you'd humor it a little bit. I'd always say, "No, Leaf is not for me, but it's cool." Blah 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 blah. Like obviously,
there are loads of Leaf cards that if they were in a licensed product would be some of the most valuable soccer cards out there.
Yeah, but when you do something like this. Like when you already have kind of a sketchy brand, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? It's like not fully accepted. It's not high end, blah, blah, blah. You're trying to be accepted with... Your model of trying to be accepted is to find these XOR rookies and make these type of products. And you're making good inroads. Mm-hmm. They were. When you throw your toys out with a pram like that, you just look... You look like a Cowboys.
Yeah.
Don't look like a professional organization. You just look like Cowboys.
Yeah.
And now I don't want any of your products. Oh, you have Alan Auto, do you? I don't care.
I mean... Damien Oliveira, who we know from Drop Collectibles, previous guest on the show back in the day, he replied, I think he was, I don't know what Damien's motivation was. It seemed like maybe he was settling scores. He saw that Leaf were having a moment of weakness, and he thought, I'll put a boot in.
Leaf's weakness is Drob's opportunity.
Exactly, yeah. So, Damien says, questionable autographs, use of images from players without paying rights. We have a relationship with insert soccer player name for years, and the players have no idea who he or the company is, but the collectors are lazy. Oh, and Leo Messi's team were furious about this card, and then it's a...
Terrible.
Yeah, and then Brian Gray says, we operate within the law, don't like it, get the law changed. Oh, that's a man.
He's like a villain.
He's like a villain, yeah.
No, you shout out to Drob. Drob's trying to do it right. Damien.
But that... CollectorEmpire.com makes a very good point here. Not a good look. I know Brian is passionate about his product, but the product is not for everyone. You can't be mad about that. That's basically exactly how I feel.
Yeah. Like you can never get angry that a product, like if you see a product sucking on secondary,
yeah,
you assess the vibe, you reevaluate, and you improve for the next product.
Yeah.
You don't get angry at everyone.
No. That's what really annoys me here, is that someone has spent their hard-earned money, whether it be the consumers or whether it be breakers or whoever it is, right? Has spent their hard-earned money to take a risk on his product. The product hasn't performed, and now they're selling off their stock. This is very normal.
That
happens.
And like, it's nice if you came out and sent that email and just said to people like, "Hey, we see that this product failed. We're going to give you this special box."
Yeah,
as
there's a different version of that email. Exactly. You could say, right, let's edit this email, right?
We'll edit it.
You could say, we've been monitoring closely the activity of this product, right? We see that there are many sales that are below cost, and we realize that this is a problem. We would like to reward those who have
opened the box,
or who have refused to sell it below cost, as this helps us long term or whatever, grow the brand, right? And then, so just 4 lines, and then skip down to the bottom. Today we announced this program.
Yeah.
Now it's not negative, it's positive.
You're not calling people lazy.
You're not saying if you don't know soccer,
to do the homework.
Yeah.
But you paid an absolute expert to dig out these youths.
Yeah.
And you're saying the casual consumer is too lazy to do the homework. What are you talking about? They barely watch PSG play in Ligue 1.
Exactly.
They're not going to dig into the academy and go, this young lad scored 4 goals last year.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Hang on till I subscribe to Aston Villa TV and see if I can catch the under 18s training. What are you talking about?
Nah, that's nuts.
Like, there's
I like
no
the
need for
bold.
this. It's perfect. This would not be a controversy if they just said, "Hey, we noticed these are performing badly. Here's a little bonus. Thanks for your support."
Yeah, that would put heat on the other companies.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you ever do this?
Exactly.
It's like, because we're big companies that cost
we have the
billions.
licenses. Listen.
We have the license. Listen, it's not
But
our
those
problem.
licenses
But
are
that's it. The other companies aren't going like, the rookie's in here, so this has to do this.
Yeah.
To the consumer. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nah,
Imagine if Michael Rubin released an email like, "Hey, I noticed you bought Bundesliga paper."
Imagine you released an email about the Jude class when they weren't selling.
Yeah, exactly. When we had Top Scrum sitting on our... Unfortunately, we cans have sold these below...
Below that, and you are too lazy,
You just do the research and find out that Karim Adeyemi is a very bright youngster.
and he's going to move to another club.
Yeah.
No,
You can't resent
you do that if you're a psycho.
if you're bitter.
Bitter.
Bitterness is not a good look.
If you're hurt,
If you're hurt. Yeah, he's lashing out here. It's no good.
it's embarrassing. But like, you're the CEO. How?
I know.
If we had a CEO and they did that,
Yeah.
they'd be gone.
They'd be gone. They'd be gone.
They'd be gone.
That's not good. So I just hope that Brian Gray is okay.
Yeah, he's very sad.
He's obviously having a bad time.
yeah, not having a good time. You don't write that email if you're having a good time.
No, he's
And now I know that Leaf don't have any form of review,
yeah.
because there's no way there was a system in place where that
No.
email got approval at various stages.
That was just like, he's the boss. He can say whatever he wants.
Oh
He's
my
sending
God.
it out. So I hope he is okay. I hope he gets the help he needs. And I hope that collectors didn't take his insults to heart. Everyone's doing great.
Everyone's doing fine.
If you get a chance, have a look at Kylian Mbappe.
He's decent.
He's pretty good.
But beyond that, don't worry about what he is telling you to look at.
Yeah. After you've watched Kylian Mbappe, you can go through the Leaf Metal Soccer checklist. But I put that kind of low priority compared to like some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, fair.
Thus concludes episode 108 of Soccer Cards United. It's an international break, so we're not going to do football week. And we're back on Monday with episode 109. And we won't correct the even odd thing until we've
Taking the next day off in 6 weeks.
Yeah. So we'll see you for that. But have a great weekend, everyone. And see you on Monday.